my current organization is a product-based company. I joined here right after college as a core Java developer. Since it's a product-based, so we are always required to work on HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So primarily, I'll identify as backend developer only. Currently, I am leading two teams as a team lead for end-to-end delivery. When I say that it's a product-based company, so we provide a business process management tool to the clients. So what we provide them with a base product, and but since we automate their businesses, every client has their unique business, unique requirements. So all the customizations and implementation is done by us over that. Now for that we use that may involve integration with their third-party customers or clients as well, vendors. So for that we use RESTful APIs. We do not use Spring much here, so that was a primary reason for me to switch as well, to grow, to expand my knowledge. And we basically use Java servlets for RESTful APIs and the integrations and all. And we work on connection frameworks as well.
Okay. Okay, good. And then we start with core Java.
All right.
We start like your interview journey in 30 minutes. Basically, we start as a core Java related thing first. Then we just go move on that advanced Java, and then design pattern, and then SQL, and then some on programming knowledge. Okay. So we have 4 part. Then we start as core Java. Can you did you use the Treeset, and what is that, and how we use Treeset?
Okay, let me just tell you first, before we start on that I primarily we use ArrayList and Hashmaps a lot. I know what a Treeset is, but I have never used it much in our day-to-day implementations.
Okay, no problem. In what is the mind?
Theoretically, I can share.
Yeah,
Yes.
theoretically, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So Treeset is nothing. It is yeah. So it is based on a binary search tree implementation. Since it's a set, so all the objects available in this will be unique. They will be unique, and there will not be any duplicacy. And the backend implementation is on the basis of the self-balancing binary search tree, which we call the term we use is red-black tree.
Can you just switch your camera?
Okay, my laptop driver is not working. Should I connect with my phone as well for the video if you want?
Okay, no problem. We can proceed for here also. No. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's it about the Treeset, which I know. We have never used it on the hands-on. We primarily use ArrayList or Hashmaps.
Okay. Then can you provide that internal implementation of Hashmap?
Okay. So Hashmap's internal working is, Hashmap internally has an architecture of arrays, which we call as buckets, right? Each bucket, it is based whenever we insert a new key value pair, or we take it we get a key value pair, it is all depends upon two main things, that is hashing and equals method, right? So every bucket in a hash map consists of a key, a value, a hash code, and we find, using that hash code, we find the index, at which index in that bucket that key value pair will be stored, right? There is a formula for that index. I do not remember that formula right now, but there is a formula for that as well. Now, initially, if we have a empty hash map, right, and we try to insert key value pair. Now, when we are trying to insert a new key value pair, first what we do is we find a hash code of that key value pair, right? from that hash code we find a index. Index means that at what position in that bucket will that node, key value node will be stored. Now once we found the index, we just go and put that key value pair object in that node, because this is the first time no key value pair will be available on that node. Now when we insert the key value pair in the second time, again what will happen is we'll find the hash code, we'll find the index. For example, if the hash code matches, right, and when we get the index of that hash code, if at that index already there is no other hash key value pair object is present. If there is no other object present, we can just store that object as a new node there. But if we already have a key value pair object available there, then we use hash code and equals method. If both the keys, the old one which was originally present there and the new one which we are trying to insert, if both the keys are same, then we just replace the current value by the new value which we are trying to insert.
Suppose that
both the keys are
I have one scenario like
Yeah.
I just return same hash code, then what happen? Like constant, I just returning forcefully, like it's every time it's return 100 like that in hash code, then what happen?
Okay, so hash code does not only represent the insertion. After hash code, from using that hash code internally, Hashmap finds the index of where that node will be stored, of the key value pair node will be stored. Now on that index, if we already have an object present, then we check the using the equals method, whether first we check whether the hash code of that object and the one we are inserting is same or not. Then we check the equal by equals method whether the key of both the objects are same or not. If the keys are same, we just replace the value. If not, we insert the new node as well in the same bucket, and we link both the nodes using linked list.
And then what is the impact on that when we just returning same constant value?
What is the impact if we are returning the same hash code?
Yeah, it's constant hash code.
Yeah, if we are returning the same hash code, I don't because the second step is equals. If the key will not match, it will not affect the value. If the key matches, because we are returning the same hash code, and if we get the same index and the key matches, then that value, then the value of that key value pair will be replaced by the new one. If the key does not matching using the equals method, then the same hash code doesn't have any significance.
No significant, but it's you know that it's not a utilize all resource of that hash map, and it's just storing that in that one index of that bucket and just providing that linked list. So when try to get that those elements, then that time you just take a lot of time. You just
Yeah. So I was
inefficient that
telling on the I was telling on the impact of when we insert a key value pair, how that will be stored. Yeah, while fetching that, yes, it will happen. You're correct. That if it will be in the single bucket, then every node will be linked via linked list. Then while fetching, it will be the complexity will increase, because linked list complexity.
That time what is that complexity of when returning every time same constant value, then what is that get when try to get that one particular value, then that time what is the complexity of that?
Its linked list traversal complexity is I think it's n, because when we traverse linked list, it is n.
Okay. And what
we are traversing the linked list and searching it, right?
Yeah. What is difference between hash map and concurrent hash map?
So concurrent hash maps are basically used in multi-threading. In Hashmap, what happens is when we try to fetch a key value pair or we try to insert it, the entire Hashmap gets logged. But in concurrent hash maps, since it is a multi-threading and multiple threads can access the same hash map, so only the chunks of the entire hash map gets locked, not the entire one.
Yeah, what happened when we try to when fetching try to update something? Then what happened in Hashmap?
When we are trying to update something,
Yeah,
updation is nothing but we are trying to put a new key value there, right?
yes, but we already in that fetching. We already just reading that all element of that Hashmap, and meanwhile I just update something.
Okay. See, once in a hash map, if I in the second position I'm trying to fetch and I just updated the value meanwhile in between that operation, then while we fetch the next value, the hash map which will be available with us will be the new one, not the old one. The updated values will be fetched.
No, no, actually it's not any impact, like it's not through concurrent it's concurrent modification exception. It's, do you know that fail fast and fail safe? What is that meaning of that fail fast and fail safe?
I know fail safe because I think concurrent hash map is said to be fail safe. Safe. Uh, that is, when we work on that concurrent hash map, uh, we work on the cloned version of it, not the original version of it. So I think that is why it is called fail safe. Fail safe iterators we say while is the term we use during the concurrent hash map. But yeah. So
No.
yes, I think you are correct. We'll get an exception.
Okay. What is difference between comparable and comparator?
Okay. In the terms of collections, difference between comparable and comparator. Uh, so comparable is used when we are trying to compare an object with another object. You know, when for this we override compare to. We use compare to for the comparable one, and comparator is the. I never used comparator.
Okay. What is hash set?
Again in sets, it's hash set is uh, hash set is something. It is against if it is said the objects are unique. It is basically at backend. It's used. It also uses the concept of hashing to store elements. Um it the it I think it inherits the abstract set. Um
Okay. What is runnable and callable interface, and what is the difference between them?
Runnable and
Callable.
callable.
Yeah.
Okay, runnable interface is used in multi-threading to run a thread.
Okay.
Like it is used to be execute a thread and to run a thread. Uh, and callable interface is runnable. We Whenever we use a runnable interface, we use for example, we are making a thread object, thread t1 equals to new thread t, then we do t1 dot run. And whenever we use a callable interface, we use a call method of it. And
What is difference between them?
okay,
Okay. What is
callable interface returns a result. It can return something.
okay? What is cycling barrier and countdown?
Sorry, not
Like,
do not know. I don't know. Yeah.
what is exception hierarchy?
Exception hierarchy.
Yeah, in Java.
Okay. So I I know there are two types of exception we have, checked and unchecked. So I think we have a throwable class, and then we have uh, exceptions. In exceptions, we have two exceptions: checked and unchecked. Uh, Checked exceptions are compile times, and unchecked are run times. For example, null pointer exception, etc. Uh,
What is difference between exception and error?
okay. I know the examples of errors. Difference theoretically. I'm not sure.
Okay. What is shared
Error
exception?
is something like when we write a code, we get syntax errors or something like that. Exception is like compile time or runtime error, like functionality wise exception.
Yeah, actually
Logically,
it's
it is that. I'm not very sure,
logical,
but
but
logically,
but
I
it's one minor, like when we got that exception, you just recover that thing. But when you just got error, then you cannot recover.
error is like, for example, if we do not use proper dependent libraries, we get an error that your code written is wrong. Exception is when we get a proper functionality in code we write wrong and we get an exception. Uh, yeah, something like that.
Okay. What is difference between final, finally, and finalize?
Okay, in exception handling, final is used. No, not in exception handling. Final is a keyword which we use in Java, which is it is used to indicate that a value assigned to a variable is final, or a method which is written is final. It cannot be overridden or something like that. Finally, we use in exception handling, try catch finally. Finally is something where we that a piece of code, a chunk of code, we always want to run, whether if even if the exception occurs. For example, what we usually do in finally is we try to close all connections, we try to clear all the objects, unused objects, etc. Finalize Finalize is similar to finally, if I say so. What it does is it also do these cleanup activities per se. Uh,
What happen when exception is thrown by the main method?
I'm not sure.
Okay. And why only string is immutable?
Only string is immutable.
Yeah. Why a string, only a string is immutable, and other data type is also available, like int, character, like float, lot of, but only a string is immutable in Java. Why?
Um, uh, See, I think the string internally. It is the values of string are stored in internally in Java. I think it is stored in the something called string pools, um, and it makes those values immutable. Yeah, it is.
Why?
What's the term? We use the term caching, right? Those values get cached in the string pools, and it makes it immutable. This same phenomena does not happen with the other int or that.
Any other point?
Um,
Okay. What is that session and cookie?
what is a session and a cookie?
Yeah.
Session is when we when we connect, we establish a connection between when we establish a connection between a client side and a server side. So sessions are nothing but a which denote a unique parameter from server side, which contains certain data. We extract certain data from sessions, right? That those are it represents server side information, server side data. Cookies are something which is stored on the laptops, the machines of users, and it's a client side information, right? The files which we
Why
use, the links we click,
why
etc.
use session?
Why do we use sessions? Sessions, as I told, that sessions are um, sessions denotes the connection between the client and the server side, and via session we transfer the data from it basically contains the information and data from server side. So once that connection is break, the session also gets
What type
over.
of
So
information we store in that using session?
it's a metadata sort of information, you know.
Can we store
It
that?
provides a better. Sorry.
Can we store that user information on that cookie?
And not, no, that is yeah, we can store the user information on the cookie, but session gives the server side information. If user is performing some action, and that action, what the resultant is on the server, that is,
But you know that cookie are not much sure compared to
yeah,
session, but
sessions
you
is
store
much more
that user
secure.
information. So
No, cookies store the website information, the work which the user does. For example, if the user clicks on any file, if the site is open, cookie stores the packet of that information. But user information like the session establishment, if any those kind of things are done by the session. Sessions are more secure than cookies.
okay.
And
Okay.
cookies also can store
What
only
is
limited information.
what is
There is
rest?
no limit.
What is that in method? What is rest? And what is that HTTP method used in that?
Okay. There are n number of rest is nothing but uh, during rest using RESTful APIs. We can it's a what the full form of REST is representational state transfer. Using RESTful APIs, we can connect and uh, you know push or pull information from the servers. There are various n number of HTTP methods which REST uses, like get, post, put, delete, etc.
What is
Should I define?
difference between rest and SOAP?
Uh, REST is SOAP. REST is an architecture, as I said, that representational state transfer protocol. So it's an architecture style, and SOAP is a protocol. SOAP uses XML based implementation, and REST can use any implementation, and REST is more flexible and easy to use as well. It is loosely coupled as well. We mostly nowadays JSON is used in REST, but REST supports any type
But
of
what is difference between put and patch?
put and patch.
Yeah.
So put is just a second. Put is when we try to update the existing resources.
Okay.
Okay. Existing resources on the Java side when we try to update anything there, and patch is when we try to. I'm not sure. I've never used patch.
I have provided that one SQL. Just write on SQL query retrieve duplicate record from table.
Okay. Chat. Okay. Write SQL query to retrieve duplicate record from the table. Okay. select. Should I mention anything? For example, test one. Test one is the column, right?
Okay, okay.
And
Like a student table, you just take as example as a student table. They have their name, ID, and
I'll take from ID. I'll consider ID is unique because name can be duplicate. We basically for this we can use the group by and having function. We'll just uh, I think this should do.
okay. Can you write then one program for checking for that palindrome?
Palindrome.
Yeah.
Should I say share my screen? I'll
Yes,
write in
yes.
notepad.
Yeah, you share your screen and write on notepad.
Let me know once my screen is visible.
Yeah, screen is visible.
Class. Okay. Uh, should I check the palindrome of integer or string?
String.
Palindrome is nothing when string is same from left to right and right to left. So for a string to be same from left to right and right to left, there are multiple methods to do it. This is why simply by loop we can check that if same it's true. The next method is can be done by using the reverse string method. So I'm not going to use any external native string methods. I'm just going to use the loop here. For loop, what I'll do is I'll check if s dot char at I not equals to s dot char at A. If this is, I'll just do count plus plus, else I will increase and k will decrease. So after this, I'll just check if count is more than 0, return false, else this is without using that reverse method.
But you just taking that whole length. I don't think. You just taking that like if s dot char at I like index 0 that time a you just taken that okay not equals to s
No, I think this would be like, wait, okay, like this. So now what will happen is that it will meet in the middle. Here I is increasing and here k is decreasing.
okay in that case scenario k6 minus 5 count it greater than 0.
Yeah. So here I'm checking the count.
Can
If
you
any,
can you put these in that my chat?
yeah, sure.
Okay. Thank you, Achal. Do you have
Alright,
any
fine.
question?
No, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Have a nice day.